I have come to Imbil today looking for a bridge. It's not that one though. Bert Smith Memorial Park. There's a bit of information here about Herbert George, otherwise known as Bert, who was not much older than the town of Imbil itself when he invested in a local fruit farm after returning from the war in 1945. Ollie Dwyer, Timberman's Walkway. Oh, there's actually a plaque there. Can you actually see it? Officially opened by the Honourable Henry somebody. There's a bit of information here about the scrub fellas. Cedar cutters worked around Imbil long before any settlement or township existed. These workers were first-class axemen and were able to work from a springboard. Oh yeah, look at that. I guess the difference between scrub fellas and timber cutters is that when there was no merchantable timber that remained, scrub fellas cleared the remaining scrub. So here's some information about the timber cutters. Timber cutters worked for a contractor, usually the bullock driver. Some worked in pairs and many worked alone. Tools used were a crosscut saw, axe, barking maul and wedges, brush hook and wallaby jack. The men usually camped away from home, and the bullock drivers. After the timber cutter had a good supply of logs, the bullockies moved in. Bullock teams snigged the logs to stockpile areas where some logs were rolled into the creek and sent to Maryborough via the Mary River. As haulage distances to the Imbil railhead and mills increased, motor lorries were preferred and bullock teams were phased out by the end of World War II. And there's my background sound. The whipper-snippering has to be done, doesn't it? And the memorial clock, which is erected in memory of those from the Mary Valley that all fell in service to their country, lest we forget. There's still a few logs being transported through this town. Now I've come out to Imbil for a drive, but more importantly I've come to find another old railway bridge, and that's it in the distance over there. First of all though, the part of the rail trail goes this way, so I'm going to walk up here first and then walk back down towards the railway bridge, Imbil's railway bridge. And the first thing you'll notice is the old train turntable. This old turntable at Imbil was once used to spin steam locomotives around for the return journey. Instead of reversing long distances, the engines were turned to face the right direction before heading back down the Mary Valley line. Oh yeah, viewing platform. Your support is very much appreciated. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. It is helping this channel to grow. It looks like that flag's seen better days. Wonder what that was for. You can see the old railway tracks through here. Now, I'm not a rail expert, but I'm guessing that's how they switch trains around. This is part of the rail trail at Imbil. It's only about 5 kilometres long, I believe. To be exact, it's 4.7 kilometres one way, and it starts at Imbil and goes through to Bruloo. Return trip, of course, because usually you've got to come back, right, is about 10 kilometres. Makes sense. Like most rural towns around Queensland, these small towns, I guess, formed and took shape because of the railway that ran through the area, carrying goods, timber cutters, logs, and people and travellers, oops, my head, and travellers from Brisbane and upwards. I've got black stuff all over my white shirt. The Mary Valley railway line here reached Imbil in about 1915. And before that, the area was settled as timber cutting and agriculture. Funny how from a different angle you see different things. Over there on the hill, there's some really old letters and I can't quite make out what they are. Is it MMHR maybe? Turn it the other way, right? Ah, it's MVHR, not MMHR. And MV stands for Mary Valley Heritage Railway. Now that makes a lot more sense. I don't know if you can get a good look of that train, of that engine behind me. Oh yeah, it looks like it's quite a good shot. So that steam engine apparently is a C-17 class. And often this engine was nicknamed the pride of the railway. Cool spiderweb. These C-17 steam engines were real workhorses back in the day. Built in the early 1900s, these steam engines were used to transport everything from freight to passengers along the Mary Valley railway line. I know nothing about trains except to travel on them and working out timetables, so I thought you guys might like a few close-ups of this old beauty. Tickets, anybody? This old timber building here is part of the Mary Valley railway line, or was, and was built in the early 1900s. I believe it dates back to around 1914, 1915. It is quite typical of the timber rail buildings that popped up around rural places like Imbil. Who's this dude? A wooden statue of somebody? The timber cutter. So this guy represents the timber cutters of the area. And over here, I see there's a little plaque, Imbil Railway Bridge, crosses the Yabba Creek near the town of Imbil on the Mary Valley branch line. The line was constructed between 1911 and 1915. There are heaps of those logging trucks going through here today. There's a nice cafe down there. They do good coffee. Now I know I won't be able to walk across this. I wouldn't mind getting a bit closer to it though, somehow. This is quite a steep hill. I think I might have to go back here first. I think I will be ladylike and walk up to the end here first and then walk all the way back. There's an empty logging truck. Oh yeah, it looks like it's easy to get closer to under the bridge from down this way, that's for sure. Middlesbrough, England. That must have been where the steel beams came from. Dorman, Long and Co. Do you notice the silence? Well, for some reason my camera stopped recording audio at about this stage, so I'm going to continue with voiceover. Now the Imbil Railway Bridge is a high-level steel and concrete bridge. Its total length 393 feet. Its maximum span is 60 feet, or known as 18.3 metres, and the bridge has 5 steel 8-panel half-through Pratt trusses and is supported by 2 concrete abutments and 9 concrete piers. The bridge retains its rails and timber sleepers. The half-through Pratt truss, or also known as pony truss bridge, completed in January 1915, is one of only 6 of its kind remaining in Queensland. I found another old bridge. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like and subscribe. It is helping this channel to grow. And I'll see you in the next one.